Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm Jason with Pastor Dave, and I got questions and he's got answers. I got a really good one for you today, Dave. You're going to love this. What is sin?
Oh, well, actually, it's best described. I think it's harmatas in the Greek. I think it's how you pronounce it, but it's the idea of an old English game that they played in the Knights of the Round Table kind of period of times, or the 1700. The idea is you would shoot an arrow through a hoop, and all the guys would be out there, sort of probably like we would do today, shooting baskets, And so the idea was you shoot through this hoop, and the guy who would miss and go off the side, he was a sinner, and so he'd have to step out of the game. But the unique things about the game of sinner, which was described to me, all I'm going by is what was described to me, is that you would then step back 10 paces and then you'd shoot again, and then whoever missed would step out and they'd be sinners. Of course, it'd come down to the last two, and you'd think, well, once the guy shot until the other guy lost, that would be the end of it. No, then the other guy, the winner, keeps stepping back and he shoots until he misses. Everybody's a sinner. And the idea is, with that game in mind, to the old English thinking, when they put that word sins and sinner in there to define the idea of harmatas, it defined it in a way that made sense to them. And when we understand the game, it really kind of, that's what sin is. All of us have sinned, and all of us have come short. And I think that's really where a lot of people have really misunderstood Christianity, is that somehow we portray ourselves as though we're above, or that somehow we know something they don't know, or that we have a better life that we live than another person would live. No, we're all sinners. We've just found the grace of God, and that wonderful grace that will forgive us of whatever we have done, and however far we might have missed. Some people shoot at the hoop, and we might be a little closer than, and it might have just pinged off the side and didn't go through the center, just pinged off. And I may have missed it by 10 miles. It doesn't matter. We're all sinners, however far or however deep or however far off we might be. The truth of it is that's the story of sin, is that we are all born into sin and in need of one to take that sin and forgive us and provide a way that we can come before the Father and find that mercy that he wants us to live in. And that's really what sin is that it's the missing of the mark. And that's where the idea of the game also comes alive when you begin to understand what Paul was writing there. We've all missed the mark. And God will forgive of whatever sin you might have been a part of. The only sin that he will not forgive, the missing of the mark, is your rejecting of Jesus Christ. That's not forgivable in this lifetime nor in the world to come. And if you live your life apart from Christ, there's no provision. He came into this world to lay his life down so that I can have life and be forgiven of the things. He took upon himself the sin that was really mine, and he then gave me his righteousness that was his, and I now have life in him. But the story really of forgiveness and mercy is really the story that he wants to bring to every man, every woman, anyone who will receive it. You can be forgiven of anything. There's nothing you have done that takes you away from God. Sin is not the conqueror here. God is much greater still, and he'll forgive you of whatever you might have brought into your life.
So sin, missing the mark, and we're all sinners. We all fall short of the glory of God. But through Jesus, there's hope, there's forgiveness. So if you're questioning that, if you're concerned about that, find somebody to talk to that can tell you about the forgiveness of Christ. If you like the video, let us know. If you got any questions, comment on it. Thanks for joining us.